Hi guys, welcome back to just my channel, because this is not a Storytime Society episode. It's my Q&A episode. Finally. I know. I literally am so bad. I don't know why. I just kept putting it off because it was just hard to line up when I was going to film it, since I always do get ready with me's for my TikTok. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to do my makeup 2 times in one day, so I'm just gonna hold it off for a day that I don't do get ready with me's on my TikTok. So this is what this is today. A lot of people asked me questions, which I was very surprised by and very happy by, so I'm about to answer some of those questions. But before, it's Friday night and I'm going to dinner with my boyfriend and his family, so we're gonna pour up a nice espresso martini, literally just poured with my heart. So I have no idea if this is gonna be good or the worst thing I've ever tasted in my life. Isn't this so cute? This little, but there's another one in here, so. And I already had a Sun Cruiser. So we're gonna get this party started. And I'm gonna get ready with you guys while I answer some questions. I'm really sorry if you can hear my chair literally squeaking around because it squeaks so much. I'm gonna put my little clips in before I get started, but. Okay, let me actually take a sip, and if you guys aren't doing anything, or if it's a weekend for you and you're watching this, or honestly, if it's just nighttime and you wanna get something to sip on, let me know what you're sipping on. I put Kahlua, vanilla, vodka, white chocolate, creamer, and an espresso shot. 2 actually, but there's the other half is in there, so. Ooh, that's good. It's definitely very strong, but isn't that what a martini is supposed to be? Obviously, I'm gonna be doing my makeup, so I'm really sorry if that's annoying to you or no. I don't know if you guys want me to tell you what products I'm using, but I feel maybe I'll just link them in the description below because I don't really want to have to say every single product that I'm using. Okay, for the first question, someone asked, what inspires me? And you know what? I probably should have looked at these questions a lot more and thought about them before, because I'm not good at on-the-spot questions, but we're gonna try our best. The first thing that comes to mind, and I don't know if this is a good or a bad answer, probably growing up with limited resources and with a single mom that worked really, really hard to provide for her kids. And sometimes that means falling short, which, love you, Mom, obviously. I know that she worked so hard, and she worked 3rd shift and was the hardest worker ever and did hospice and stuff. So I know that she tried so hard, but obviously growing up with a single mom and not being able to do some stuff because we couldn't afford it, or just everything that I wanted to do as a child, being in certain sports and stuff like that wasn't always in my grip. I couldn't do a lot of stuff because of the limited resources. Obviously, I also have a dad, but he didn't have custody like much of us. He just had us every Thursday and every other weekend, and he paid my mom child support. So we wouldn't get money outside of that, and I don't think it was much child support. So it was really just my mom. Since we were with her all the time, it was the financial burden was definitely put on my mom most of the time. I don't know, by the time I was 14, I guess I would say, is when I kind of decided to not go to my dad's, and not because I didn't love him, but because he lived 25 minutes away from my school, and which I don't know if you guys know this or not. I definitely have said it in a podcast before, but I lived by myself sophomore year, junior year, and senior year of high school. I had an apartment that my mom paid for that my brother would sometimes stay at, but my brother was also in and out of jail a lot growing up, so it was mostly just me in this apartment by myself. He wasn't really around much unless he wasn't in jail at the time. And when he wasn't in jail, he was going around being crazy, so he wasn't really home that much. And yeah, so I lived alone my sophomore, junior, senior year of high school, and that's kind of when I stopped going to my dad's, because my apartment that I lived in was right by my high school. So there wasn't really I just didn't really see a need to go to my dad's that much, because then it would mean that I would have to wake up much earlier and drive to school much earlier. So, next little batch of questions. This is all from the same person, but I'm probably going to answer most of them. What did you go to school for and when did you graduate? So, I actually went to college for elementary education with a minor in early childhood education, and I graduated in the year 2020, right before COVID hit. I got a job at a preschool right out of college. It did shut down, but I actually already quit, like right before, like a couple days before it shut down for COVID. I already quit because it was actually the worst job ever. And I wanted to stay so bad because like I obviously I did love the kids and stuff, but I really wanted to be like an actual preschool teacher. I didn't want to just be a babysitter, which is what this was. They had 2 teachers on leave or something, so they had put my first day on the job. I was just thrown in to the fucking room. No one taught me how to do anything, no training, no nothing. They just threw me in 2 other teachers' classrooms in my classroom. So I had like 35 little like 3 and 4-year-olds in this class, and I'm like, oh my god, it was an actual shit show. And that first week I literally cried every single day because I did not want to be there. After that, I actually got a job online. It's like teaching online to kids in China, so you teach English to them, and it's actually a pretty easy job to get, and it doesn't pay that bad. I think it was like 18 an hour. It wasn't like full-time. You had to book like a certain amount of lessons. The next question is, what would your dream job be? And I actually think that my dream job is kind of what I'm working on right now with this podcast and like social media, and I feel like that's pretty, what's the word? Not taboo, but like basic. I don't know. I don't know what the word is, but obviously a lot of people want to do social media, and I love social media. I've been a social media manager. I was for a few years, but obviously like I'm very passionate about doing my own social media. I've always been really passionate about working for myself, and I've pretty much worked for myself ever since I graduated college. I had a vintage business and I ran that for a few years, and then I started doing social media management, and then recently started doing social media full time. That I definitely think that this would be my dream job. Obviously like right now I'm making like a good income, but I definitely would love to make a little bit more, just because like right now I'm just making like I don't know what to call it. I feel like for Florida it's hard because Florida's so expensive to live in, so my income definitely isn't like what I would like it to be for a person living in Florida, having the most like expensive rent ever and just everything being so expensive here. But I also obviously I'm just very grateful for everyone that watches this, because obviously this supports me in a lot of ways as well. And yeah, I mean, what I make on YouTube is definitely not a full-time income, but as like TikTok and YouTube combined is good for me right now. I would love for it to be honestly full-time on YouTube, because I love YouTube so much and this community as well. Like nothing beats like the community that I feel like we have built in only like the past 6 or 7 months. And just talking to you guys all the time and every single time I post an episode is like my favorite thing to do. And yeah, I love like connecting with you guys, and I would love to meet you guys in person someday. Honestly, it'd be so fun. The next top 3 favorite clothing stores. Oh god, that's so hard. I would say my number 1 is a thrift store, because I literally thrift just about everything. And then it's really hard for me to say like others, because I don't shop much outside of what I thrift. But I'm going to say probably, if I could afford to shop there all the time, I would say like Zara, Aritzia. Honestly, I think that's it. I'd say, oh, well, that's 3. Thrift stores, Zara, and Aritzia. Those are my top 3. Top artists you listen to? I'm like a very much sad music girly, so I listen to a lot of Gracie Abrams. I have a very, very wide variety of music taste, I would say. So I listen to a lot of different stuff. So like one day it could be country, one day it could be EDM, one day it could be rap, one day it could be hip hop, like very much diverse in that way. But I would say Gracie Abrams is definitely someone that I stick with the most and I would like go to turn on the most. And then I love like Leon. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but her music is so good, and I used to binge that music like every single day for like a whole year. I don't know what my Spotify would say. Like, I wonder what it would say. I forget who my top artists were, but I definitely don't. I think it was Leon. I don't think Gracie was even in it, but I do think that it was a guy for the top one, and I can't remember who it was. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. Like, I feel like I'm not doing my makeup routine correctly. My neck does not match my foundation at all right now, but I think we'll be kind of like in the clear tonight because we're gonna be at like a darkish restaurant, I think. I hope. Okay, next is from Bubbly Transition 98. Where do you see your life in 10 years and how many kids do you want? I feel like this changes so much, so I'm sure in like 5 years it will change, and I'm sure once I have my first kid it will change as well. I would say, oh my god, I'm gonna be 36? No, that's not that bad. By 36, I would definitely say I will have at least one kid, hopefully a house, and honestly, hopefully not in Florida, hopefully in like New England. I would say Massachusetts somewhere. I really love Massachusetts. I definitely think I'll be married by then. I can't really think too far ahead because that gives me anxiety. And I used to struggle with that a lot, actually. Like, I used to think so far ahead and always be thinking about the future. I definitely don't do that as much anymore, and I think it might be because I'm on actual anxiety medication, so that helps a lot. But like for years and years and years, every day, like the biggest top thing and the top stressor on my mind would be the future and what's going to happen in the future, and if I'm going to be okay in the future, if I'm going to be like poor in the future, like just I think it comes from having like not much growing up. So I definitely think that's like a big part. I saw this on Twitter today and thought you would give a good answer. What is a random controversial ick you would look out for in people you were dating or even in friends? Mine is people sitting on anyone's bed for the first time without asking or getting permission. Oh God, guys, this might be hard for me. I think I figured it out, but this is gonna sound stupid, I feel like, but probably people that don't go out of their way to be kind to other people. I don't know if that's stupid or not. I feel like it's a big tell. I don't really know how to say it. My boyfriend in college was like very much, everyone thought that he was an asshole because, and he wasn't, but the way that he didn't really talk to anyone, and he was, not that he was shy, it's just like he didn't go out of his way to be like kind to people. I don't know if that's stupid, but yeah, I feel like sometimes I'm like more reserved on certain days, but I try to be kind to people, especially if I'm interacting with them. Next, what are your goals for your YouTube channel? I would say my goals are to build the most positive community as possible and close-knit community, and obviously to grow. I think anyone that's on YouTube wants to grow, but I'm like pretty happy at where I'm at right now. Obviously I'm not like some insane huge YouTuber, which right now is totally fine for me, and it's not that I ever would want to, like if that was the case then I'd be fine with it, but I really just kind of want to build like a community while making like a living off of it, you know what I mean? And not that I don't want, obviously, if like I got millions of views and made millions of dollars, I would love that, but my goal isn't really to make like, to be crazy with money. I'm really just would be set with like a nice income that provides for me and possibly a family one day, and that would be okay for me. I don't think I want too much attention because I am not good with the negative. I don't like negativity. I don't know if I could actually survive it, to be honest with you, so I'm gonna be so real. That is like really scary, to be honest. It's just, some people are not nice and they just never will be. Do you want to get into the typical editing styles most people do right now, like editing out mess ups and dead air? I do sometimes edit out dead air just because like sometimes I'll really take long pauses, but I try not to edit out too much, and I never want to be too over edited. But of course if that were like something that was keeping me from growing, I would adapt to it, but I don't know. Let me know. Let me know if you guys think I should edit more mess ups and dead air or not. Let me know. Or do you want to keep it transparent like it is? I love how your YouTube channel is. It feels authentic, but I notice you don't do the typical editing style that most YouTubers do. Thank you. That's a compliment. I think authenticity is definitely something that I want to hold close to my channel and not be too crazy with like editing and making things seem like something they're not, you know? But I also still want to keep it entertaining and not be like sitting there for 10 minutes with nothing to say or something boring to say, you know? So that's definitely something I go back and forth with a lot. But let me know what your guys' opinions are on that. Do you want a kid or kids someday? Already answered that. Well, actually didn't answer that. I want a kid for sure. And then once I think okay, this is how I feel. I hope that my pregnancy goes well because I would love to have a big family. Like, honestly, I would love to have like 5 or 6 kids. If my body was like super good with pregnancy, I would pop like 5 or 6 out. But if it's not a glorious pregnancy, then I'll probably stick with 2 or 3 kids. How many siblings do you have? I have 2 siblings, a brother and a sister by blood, and then 2 stepsisters, which I've talked about in my podcast previously. I see them as real sisters because I've known them since I was literally like born, because they were my next door neighbors. You know, there's some drama with that. Do you have any Cope shows you go back to? Is this a Cope show? I don't know. I love Law and Order. I like to watch that a lot. I put on Sex and the City a lot if I have nothing to watch and I just want like a cute like show to watch. There's definitely so many more, I feel like, because I love TV and I love watching stuff. Reality shows I love watching, but like it's definitely harder to rewatch reality shows. One Tree Hill. Have you traveled anywhere in the States or out of the States? If so, what are your favorite places to see? I haven't really traveled much, actually. I've only gone to like Mexico and then like on cruises to the Bahamas, St. Martin, St. Thomas. I loved St. Martin. That was probably like my favorite place to be, but I would love to travel more. And that's kind of my goal as well. I think starting to travel more is definitely something that I'm looking forward to. Are you a morning person or a night person? I love the mornings, but my body is a night person, if you get what I mean. Like, I'm a night owl. My heart loves mornings, if that makes sense. Like, I absolutely love a morning. I love a coffee early in the morning, but it's so hard for me to wake up super early in the morning. I've definitely been getting better at it. I just like tend to stay up really late and don't get tired until like 12. My age, I'm 26. How did you meet your boyfriend and what was your timeline like for relationship milestones, like moving in or future planning? I'm always curious about people's love stories. Okay, so I actually met my boyfriend right before, was this right before? I would say like right before like COVID shutdowns were like super crazy. We met in 2020 and I was 22 and he was 19, which I was against. I was like not sure about, but so I met him actually at this bar he was a waiter at, and me and my friends were out for like a girls' night. We would go out pretty often, and I had just gotten out of a relationship, like literally just gotten out of a relationship, and I saw him and I kind of just was like, I don't know, I just had this feeling, and I thought he was obviously very cute, so I went up to him and I asked him if he was single. He said yep, and then he asked me, of all things, for my Snapchat, which was a red flag, but it's okay because we are where we are now, and I forgive him for that. Yeah, so he asked me for my Snapchat, so I gave it to him, but my phone was broken, and I didn't tell him that. I had just broken it at the bar before, so I was like ordering fries, and I had my debit card in the back of my phone case, and I took my phone out of my phone case, dropped it, and it was like shattered, so I didn't talk to him till the next day, like later when I got my phone fixed, and he tells me that he thought that I like was never gonna talk to him because, or like reach out because I didn't like message him that night and he thought I wasn't interested, which is funny. Our timeline for relationship milestones. So I was 22 and he was 19. So he was in college when we first started dating. He was a sophomore in college and I would go and like visit him a lot. Then we broke up in like 2021, I think. Was it 2021? I don't know. But we broke up after a year, or it might have been 2022. We broke up after a year of dating. And then we were broken up for like 3 or 4 months. Then we got back together and he graduated. No, we got back together. He was a senior in college? No, I don't know. Guys, I'm so confused. But when we got back together, he was a senior in college. So he had like a year left of school. Actually, we didn't start dating till junior year of college, his junior year of college. We met sophomore year of college, didn't start dating till junior year of college. Then we broke up right before his senior year of college. And then we got back together. We were long distance for a year. And then as soon as he graduated, we moved in together. And he got a job and stuff. And we've been living together for over a year now, like a year and a half now. And it's going very well. We are very like healthy relationship. I mean, I haven't been in many relationships, but I know that this is like a super healthy relationship by all standards, honestly. Because I've known a lot of unhealthy relationships. Also, are you doing YouTube full time or do you have another job? I'm actually doing YouTube not YouTube. I'm doing YouTube and TikTok full time, but I really would love to do YouTube full time. And when I started, I had just lost like a couple of my clients because of like budget issues. And so this was honestly like a blessing in disguise for me because I obviously didn't know that it was going to work out the way that it did, but I had nothing else. I literally quit. I started posting on TikTok like the next week. All of a sudden, like my videos were blowing up, and then I wanted to start posting on YouTube, and then I started making money on YouTube and TikTok. So that like helps me so much because at that point I had nothing. Like I was like, fuck. I lost my job and then I was like, what do I do? And yeah, it really worked out. Honestly, like that was a godsend, to be honest. It's definitely, they're asking if it's like sustainable. It's definitely not sustainable for me right now with the views that I'm getting, but I don't know how to put that actually, because every month is like, it's growing a little bit every month and it's like the same every month, so it's not as wishy-washy as TikTok is. But if I were getting like, obviously if I were a bigger YouTuber and I was getting a lot more views, it would definitely be a lot more sustainable, at least for my lifestyle, because I don't spend a lot of money. I'm very cheap. I'm very save my money oriented. So I like to save. I like to invest in my future. How did you start being a content creator? What advice would you would you give to others looking to start? I kind of just told you how I started being a content creator. I'm going to skip that. But if you want me to go more in depth, I definitely can. What advice would you give? Honestly, I genuinely feel like it's just a numbers game. Posting as much as possible, to be honest. That's how I see it. Obviously, like, I'm a different type of creator, so it's not like, I feel like it's not really on YouTube. Well, no, I honestly feel like it's more based on the fact that I'm telling like interesting stories of other people, but I know that it would be a lot harder if I was just like solely building a platform off of just my personality. I know it would be so much harder, so I give props to those people that do that because I probably wouldn't be where I am if I had to do that. Why did you want to start the podcast and were you scared to start it? Why did I want to start the podcast? Because I've just loved like talking to the camera for so long, and I've always like filmed YouTube videos, posted YouTube videos ever since I was like in high school, but I never like took it seriously and I would always end up deleting them after like a couple months. And podcasts, I listen to them so much, so I was like, you know what? I should start my own. I listen to them so much, and I know that like if no one listens, it's fine, you know? Like it's going to be okay. I just will try my best, and if it doesn't work out, it's okay. I wasn't scared to start it because I already had a podcast for like 6 months with my friends previously to that, so I kind of knew what to do and where to go and how to start. So I wasn't really scared. Do you prefer cats or dogs? Oh my gosh. I think if you watch or listen to my podcast, you will know that I'm obsessed with cats. I have 3 cats. What do you want your wedding to be like? Guys, that's such a hard question for me because I literally don't want to spend money on my wedding. And I'm so serious. Everyone's like, you'll change your mind once you like start wedding planning, and I don't think I will because my like brain does not let me spend a certain amount of money. And I don't want to spend a lot of money on my wedding. No judgment to those who do, but I would just much rather go on a cool honeymoon or buy a house with that money. So I would say definitely a small wedding, possibly an elopement, and somewhere really pretty, maybe in another country or maybe just like on the beach in Florida. I don't know. What are some plans you have for the future? I watch and comment all the time. Girl, I know you do because I always respond to you, Danielle. I always trust when I tell you that I always recognize people that comment often. What are my plans for the future? My plans for the future are just to continue doing what I'm doing, try to save as much as possible and build a life for myself and hopefully future children. Traveling a little bit. What's something that makes you feel nostalgic? Oh my god. What's something that makes me feel nostalgic? Everything. Smells, sounds, music, movies, like literally everything. I don't know why, but everything makes me feel nostalgic, especially like music, Hilary Duff music. I feel like that's obviously like because it's old music. Older movies, like I love watching 2000s movies. Certain smells that I can't explain. Guys, I'm putting so much of this on because I just want my makeup to stay. I'm gonna put more setting powder on and this on top, I think, too. Do you like gaming at all? I don't, but I love you and I love your comment. What motivates you to post on this channel? Talking to you guys. Would you ever create a vlog channel? Yes. If it's something that a lot of people would be interested in, just because I know that it takes so much work and I feel like I already do so much like podcasting, so it would be like a lot on top of that. If I was just like had a camera and recording things that I was doing, even though I don't really do much, I wouldn't mind. I've thought about posting vlogs like once every now and then, but I would need to get a vlog camera because this camera is like more heavy duty. Biggest turmoil you've encountered in your relationship or a past one / situationship and how you overcame it. The biggest turmoil I've had in a past relationship was probably just my whole entire relationship with my ex in college because we just weren't a good fit and we weren't suited for each other at all. And we just fought all the time and did not align on anything. And we pretty much broke up because at the time a lot of stuff with the George Floyd stuff was going on and I was going to a lot of protests at the time and he was not okay with that and we would fight about that a lot and I just was not. He's not a bad person, it's just, I don't know why he was like that about that situation, but I couldn't do it anymore. And after I posted on Instagram, I posted a story. It was like a person holding up like a sign and it said, "Dump your Republican boyfriend." And then he messaged me and sent me that screenshot and he's like, "Is this about me?" I was like, no, of course not. Of course it's about you. What do you mean? You're the only boyfriend I've dumped. And then in my current relationship, definitely breaking up, and we overcame it by the fact that we were broken up for 3 months and I was going to therapy and working on myself a lot. Actually, when we first got back together, we ordered this book for like attachment styles and it was like for a couple and you would like fill it out together and read like the sections about your certain attachment styles, and that definitely helped a lot. And then just like open communication, obviously, and just trying to build trust back, which is still happening. Do you have any childhood memories that you aren't sure actually happened? Yeah, actually, I think I got kidnapped when I was little because I don't know if I had a really vivid dream or what happened, but I remember a couple, brown hair, taking me from my house, taking me up the street, and I didn't know what was happening. I ended up back home somehow. It was definitely a lot more prominent in my brain like years ago, but now that I'm older, that was when I was like 5 years old that I had that dream. I asked my mom a few years ago, I'm like, did I get kidnapped when I was little? Because I swear, I have this memory that always pops up in my brain and I feel like I got kidnapped, but she said I didn't, so. Are the stories you tell actually happening to you in real life, or are they from somewhere else? Girl, you probably aren't watching this because you probably haven't watched one of my videos, but they're Reddit stories. Love you. What is your favorite memory? Oh my god, that's really hard. I would say my favorite memory is anything that happened when I was younger. Being in 5th grade and watching like Degrassi with my best friend in 5th grade, and eating pizza rolls until 5 a.m. That's probably like my favorite kind of memories. What's the best TV couple of all time in your opinion and why? I would definitely say, I don't know if this is like gonna be controversial or not, but probably Meredith Grey and Derek Shepherd, because I know that when they were together, my life was complete, and when he died, that was probably the most sad I've ever been in my lifetime. Or like Haley and Nathan, I don't know though, because I did not like the shit that Haley was playing on Nathan. I did not like that girl. Why were you with Chris Keller? And why did you go on tour with him? And why did you cheat? Wait, she cheated, right? I can't remember. I watched that show so long ago, but that pissed me off. So, if you were a fruit, which would you be and why? Oh, probably a strawberry. and only because I want to be as cute as a strawberry. I think they're so cute, so adorable. That's all the questions we have, and that was kind of fun to film with you guys. It was like nice little chatty. I don't know if you guys are gonna enjoy that or not, but let me know if you do. I would love to do videos like this in the future and just like talk to you guys, because it's kind of fun to talk to you guys and not just like read stories and then tell you guys my opinions on it sometimes. I obviously love doing that, but I also love to just like chat sometimes and like gossip and chit chat. I think that's all. I'm gonna take the last sip of my martini and I'm gonna go get dressed for the night. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I cannot thank you enough for being here and being a part of the Storytime Society. You guys are like the best. And I hope we continue this for forever. I hope you guys have the best day or night ever. Love you.